Welcome to Nac Edition. I'm Braille Brown. On this week's Nac Edition, we will be diving into homecoming, SFA's mobility program, and much more.
SFA's Orientation and Mobility Program has been around on campus since fall of 1972 and has recently celebrated 50 years. I sat down with Ms. Beverly Jackson for more information.
Bill and Bob provided training to orientation and mobility specialists for the next 35 years in Nacogdoches, Texas. This program currently offers a Bachelor's in Science and Rehabilitation with Orientation and Mobility concentration, a graduate program for students to become certified in orientation and mobility and receive their master's in special education. We also offer grant funding for students in Texas to cover the tuition costs to attend our program.
For those who desire a career in helping individuals who are visually impaired or blind travel in their environment and their everyday life.
The Braille Cane Club started in 1999, and their present goal is to provide advocacy skills for the students with visual impairments on campus. And they host several events for students with visual impairments in the local community. And those events include White Cane Day and the Easter egg hunt and a Christmas party. And they also do volunteer work in the community to help increase awareness of visual impairments in the community. We hosted a White Cane Day march and a 50th anniversary celebration of the Orientation and Mobility Program. We started out with a blindfold obstacle course in front of the Student Center, where many of our participants wore a blindfold just like this and used their cane to go through the obstacle course. And that gave them an idea of what it was like, the challenges and obstacles that our students and adults encounter that have visual impairments.
For more information, you can contact them on Instagram at BCC_SFASU.
Stephen F. Austin State University is having their first Men's Empowerment Summit on Friday, October 28th. The event will start at 9 a.m. and end 4 p.m. Assistant Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs, Javon Long, is driving force for this event, followed by students Quentin Williams and Braxton Robinson. The Men's Empowerment Summit is structured where they will begin with breaks out sessions discussing legacy and leadership. The event will then transition to a Purple Table Talk. This is a spinoff of Jada Pinkett Smith's, where they will discuss how they define legacy and leadership. This includes a luncheon keynote where the alumni Jalen Berry Seville Harris will speak. The event will close at a wellness check, where a local health clinic that will be doing STD checking, nursing students will be checking blood pressures, and the CCPD will review resumes. The summit is a networking opportunity for the men to socialize and explore their opportunities. The past Saturday, the Cole Concert Center hosted a silent auction. The 12x12 Art Scholarship Fundraiser is an exhibit where SFA students create unique art pieces from 12x12 canvases. The art pieces are then bid on, and all of the money made from the silent auction goes to scholarships for the art department at SFA. Roughly $15,000 are raised every year for the Art Scholarship Fundraiser. One of the fundraiser's most prominent sponsors is Peter Andrew, who donates at least one art piece every year, which brings even more community interest in bidders. Along with Andrew, small businesses such as Flower Shop, the Cottage Wine Bar, the Woodworks Club of East Texas, and several others are proud sponsors of the 12x12 Art Scholarship Fundraiser. The SFA Financial Aid Office has taken note of the success of the fundraiser and plans to incorporate the format into other organizations and schools at SFA. The Lumberjack Culture Association of the Multicultural Affairs annually presents the Tunnel of Oppression. The Tunnel of Oppression is an interactive museum put on by students and organizations which spotlights different forms of oppression through the theater and multimedia presentations. The tunnel aims to bring awareness to current issues that are heavily prevalent in America and around the world. Many students at SFA often face these situations, but they don't speak about them. These topics can be sensitive as they range from human trafficking, genocide, suicide, and racial profiling. Going through the tunnel is required by SFA 101, but is open to anyone. The Tunnel of Oppression is an eye-opening experience that should not be missed. Students who are facing any mental health issues are encouraged to speak to the counseling services located in the Health and Wellness Hub on Regay and East College Street. SFA's homecoming this Friday, October the 28th, students may notice a few differences in this year's homecoming than the past year.
Stephen F. Austin State University's homecoming is set to take place this Friday and Saturday, but a couple of favorite traditions have been canceled. The annual bonfire and fireworks show will no longer be taking place due to the current burn ban in effect for the city and county. After speaking with the state fire marshal, SFA decided canceling the event was the smartest and safest choice. The announcement of the cancellation came just a couple of weeks ago through an email from the Vice President of Student Affairs at SFA. The email stated that the lack of significant rainfall has made the threat of an uncontrolled fire incredibly high, and we can't risk endangering the campus or local communities. With these noteworthy events, the decision to cancel was not taken lightly.
We waited until the very last minute to have to make the decision.
Alpha Phi Omega, a service fraternity at SFA, is directly involved with the preparation and build of the bonfire every year, but this year they were unable to do so.
Even though we don't get to, make a flame, we still want to be like that flame in the community.
After much thought, SFA chose to replace the bonfire and fireworks show with a drone light show that will feature 100 drones and images of SFA and Nacogdoches. The drone show will take place this Friday at SFA's intramural fields located on the corner of Star Avenue and Wilson Drive. Following the drone show, there will be performances from TikTok star Charlie on a Friday and the concert headliner B.O.B. Guests are welcome to come to the fields starting at 8 p.m. For more information on SFA's homecoming, visit sfasu.edu/homecoming.
As pumpkin patches appear and local Nacogdoches residents decorate their yards, there is a fun downtown experience that you, friends, and family can enjoy this spooky season. Join the downtown merchants as they spookify their stores and display featuring fall-themed merchandise for the Monster Mash on Bricks Street. Events on October the 29th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The spooky celebration is going to be a blast, so expect fun, family-friendly trick-or-treating and activities along the Brick Street. Dressing up as your favorite ghouls and monsters are highly encouraged. Returning stores from the last year's Monster Mash house includes House of Tradition, First Choice Jewelers, Nacogdoches Cigar Company, and Brick Street Antiques. Look for stores with the Monster Mash flyers outside on the windows as they are participating in the mash. For your safety, the streets will remain closed during the event. Please walk on the sidewalk and crosswalk throughout the event. The flu season just months away. It's always a good idea to get your flu shot in order to protect yourself as well as your community. Every year, the flu causes millions of people to get sick and thousands of prevalent hospitalizations and deaths. If you still need to get vaccinated, Nacogdoches Health Partners is hosting a final drive-through flu shot event this Friday from 1 o'clock to 1:30. In order to register for this event, give Nacogdoches Health Partners a call at 936-559-0700. To schedule your appointment and receive a shot. Getting a flu shot at this event is free with most health insurance providers. Nacogdoches Health Partners is located at 4800 Northeast Stalling Drive, and the event will be held behind the building. Line up on the left side of the building and you'll get your shot in no time. For more information about this event, visit the Nacogdoches Health Partners website at www.nachhealthpartners.com. And the SFA Gardens Director, Dr. Creech, is given a grant to start research on the fruit known as pineapple guava in order to find a benefit for the new low-input crop in Texas. The SFA's Gardens is given the grant to the U.S. Department of Agriculture Services and is set to fund them until 2024. Dr. Creech has partnered with a specialist from Texas AgriLife, and Dr. Hartman is located in College Station. And together they plan on finding out different methods on how to produce large amounts of fruit for the fruit crop and cycles. Potential in a pineapple guava that can help cultivators produce larger and much nutrients fruit. Dr. Creech and Dr. Hartman have already worked in the past with several other fruits like the golden kiwi fruit and found great results within the research. Some methods even being used in this project since the pineapple guava is hard to plant. Dr. Creech hopes that it can find its way to local markets since it's difficult for the plant to maintain regular fruit. Stick with us because after the break, we will sit down with the graduate assistant from Student Affairs to talk about how SFA's homecoming is produced. Welcome back to Nac Edition. With us here today is Student Affairs Graduate Assistant Ashton Meissen. Hi, Ashton. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
So let's just go ahead and get into this. Everyone's excited for homecoming, and everyone wants to know what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
So I guess I should just ask you what exactly is planning? Walk me through the steps of what planning looks like for homecoming.
Yeah. So we start with a homecoming committee, which is usually our host. So this year was Experience. So their entire organization helps plan homecoming. We start typically between 9 to 12 months in advance. So usually between November and January. And then we just go ahead and start planning and getting all those things done. There's lots of events, a lot of candidate events. We partner up with Alumni Association and other organizations on campus.
And you mentioned the candidate event. So what exactly is that?
So candidates, anybody who is in good standing with the university can apply to be a candidate. You just fill out an application, you submit it to the office, and then you're good to go. You have to go to a meeting, you go over all the rules and everything. They have points that they can get, and then there's also votes that they can get. Both things combined gives you your winner at the very end.
Okay, so basically, what is the walk for someone who's actually looking to be a candidate? What does that process look like?
So you will first apply, go to our office or online for student engagement, and you'll get a packet, and you'll fill out the application packet. You'll submit that. We then approve that. Typically in years past, there's been a fee associated, but this year we had no fee associated with that at all. So it was free to apply. And then as soon as you get approved, you go to this meeting. At the meeting, they tell you all the rules for candidacy. So when you can and can't publicize yourself, the things that you can and can't do. So what events you need to go to, what events you can go to get points for, when your supporter points kick in, all that fun stuff. And then after you go to that meeting, you're good to go.
Okay. And so what does the candidate role look like? What should they be doing to get involved in school? Or is it basically just popularity? How do you look at that?
Well, we don't really determine anything. It's whoever wants to run can run. You can run within an organization. You can run as an individual. Typically, organizations run. So right now, the Office of Multicultural Affairs has a candidate. They have a couple candidates. And then you also have your fraternities and sororities who, they typically will run together. They get four candidates, and then 4 candidates. You can have 8 people per organization run. And that's pretty much it. And they just apply and go from there.
Okay. And so basically, what does planning events look like for homecoming?
Well, typically we have our committees that get together to plan. We really just determine, what's popular right now, what do people want to do, and also has to go along with our theme. So this year, our theme was Game On. So a lot of our events and everything have been sports or board game related, just kind of to focus on that theme aspect. So tomorrow there's an event going on called Game On, and it's going to have a DJ battle, we're going to have board games, there's a costume contest, you can dress up as whatever you want to do, but it's just mostly to get people involved and have fun and to celebrate SFA.
And you mentioned basically the theme. So tell me, who decides the theme? Do the students decide, or is there a committee who decides, or who exactly decides the theme?
Yeah, usually it's the committee and as well as the Office of Student Engagement. So as a whole, there's professionals, paraprofessionals, and then our student leaders, and then also just input from the students. So what's popular, what's going on at the time. You know, everything just kind of comes together. They brainstorm a little bit, throw it back and forth, and then whatever the committee decides on is what they do.
Okay, so basically it's just basically on everyone who's involved in like input, basically, if you could put into another word.
Yeah.
So when it comes to input, could you explain to me how exactly an artist is selected, or maybe just an event is selected in particular to what is selected for homecoming?
Yeah. So specifically for the homecoming artists, there's a agent that we work with that, you know, finds talent within our budget. So we're given like a certain amount of money that we're allowed to spend on homecoming. Student Activity Association does this mostly. They kind of find, you know, what's current with students, who's somebody that they're going to actually enjoy and like and want to hear from, but then also keeping in mind that like the community comes out as well and alumni as well. So we don't want to just get someone that's specifically student based or specifically just for the alumni or anything. So we kind of take both inputs from everybody, kind of just work together and try to find somebody that's within our price range that everybody approves of. They then have to go through a contract and proposals and that whole complicated aspect that I have nothing to do with, luckily. And yeah, it just kind of goes from there.
Okay, and you know that everyone was missing the iconic bonfire,
Yes.
but it was replaced this year with a drone show. So could you walk me through exactly how was that the ending result of how you guys were going to solve that problem?
Yeah, I actually wasn't involved with that, so I'm not sure how that became the final decision. I just know that it was very, like, there was no other option. It was either this or that because, you know, we can't really do anything with the burn ban. It did go away. There was talks about the burn ban, I remember at the beginning of the semester, and then we got all that rain and it went away and they were like, oh, everything will be okay, we're gonna start prepping for it. And then it felt like as soon as we started preparing for the bonfire to actually happen, the burn ban came right back and we were just like, okay, well, there's nothing we can do now. And then even though it has kind of rained like all the beginning of this week, it still wasn't enough to let us.
Okay, well, I really appreciate you for coming in and just explaining to us everything about homecoming. I really feel like the background of everything is very important.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. After this, we will be heading to the Sabine National Forest, learn more about it and its history, to see all the activities that the park has to offer. Welcome back to Nac Edition. If you have ever wondered what there is to do in East Texas, we have just what you're looking for.
My name is Sabine Welsh, and today we're at Sabine National Forest, located all the way in deep East Texas. Sabine National Forest is over 160,000 plus acres of beautiful piney woods located in deep East Texas. Initially, what came across our minds is, what does Sabine National Forest have to offer? We stopped by the Forest Ranger Station to chat with fire management operators Joey Silva and David Jones about this historical Texas park.
I'm Joey Silva, District Fire Management Officer off the Sabine National Forest. Been here since 2005, so roughly going on about 18 years of service.
Silva mentions one of the most popular activities for people to do in Sabine National Forest.
You know, a big thing is hunting. It's a lot of public land that's right here at most people's disposal that a lot of people don't really know about.
Visitors are able to hunt animals like white-tailed deer, doves, wild turkey, quails, squirrels, and feral hogs. The fire service helps maintain the forest by timber cutting, which helps make way for local wildlife.
I like to see the management of the land. Okay, so a lot of people don't like timber cutting, but just seeing the natural process and how opening it up and putting prescribed fire in there that opens it up, keeps the fuels low, helps benefits wildlife and everything else. So mainly on the south end, we have a lot of longleaf pine. Once you move up to the middle to the north, we got more loblolly and shortleaf pine, just different species. A lot of in the bottoms, a lot of oaks, white oaks, red oaks. So.
Not only is Sabine National Forest important to preserve, it also has a variety of recreational activities for visitors to do. Fire equipment operator David Jones has been working at the park for 18 years. Jones mentioned some of his favorite recreational activities that the park has to offer.
Known for bass fishing tournaments, a lot of great places to go kayaking. We got a lot of rec areas. One is Red Hill Lake. really nice little lake, nice camping, plenty of place to go kayaking. Another thing is Trail Between the Lake is 28 miles long. It starts at Lakeview Rec Area on the Sabine up against Toledo Bend and goes, like I say, 28 miles to the west.
Sabine National Forest was also once home to various indigenous tribes.
Forest, I think, was established in around 1940, I believe. There's been several different ways that the Forest Service were incorporated, but this was taken over after the Great Depression, I think, through certain amenities. Tribal lands that were in the area. We had the Caddo tribe. We've also had Elemental tribe.
Indigenous tribes typically used longleaf pine to make things like baskets for weaving and traditional crafts.
Started back in 1933, the Texas legislation put in effect, start buying lands and stuff like that. And in about I think it was October the 13th, 1936 is when Franklin Roosevelt signed it in as a national forest. Of course, during that time from 33 to 40, we had two CCC companies out here, one on the north end, one on the south end. They helped build structures like up at Bowesfield and then also at Red Hill Lake. They also was in charge of planting a lot of the trees.
Sabine National Forest has been established for a number of years. Despite its age, there are a variety of things to do here in present day.
So many things that people don't understand that's just right here at their disposal. Like I mentioned, the rec sites are something that's common, that, the swimming areas or camping.
The park workers suggest having a game plan on what you should bring and what you're going to do.
Definitely would recommend bringing lots of bug spray, bring plenty of water, of course, to hydrate yourself, bring good walking shoes, pretty sturdy shoes, and the biggest thing is just get out in the forest. Just get out and see what there's to offer.
This is Sabine Welsh, and if you're looking for something fun to do in deep East Texas, Sabine National Forest just might be what you're looking for.
Friday, the 29th, is National Frankenstein Day. When you think of the iconic story, do you think of the mad scientist or the monster itself, which has no name? One of the best horror novels to date, Frankenstein is still to this day a popular costume choice for many people. The author Mary Shelley was one of the first prominent female horror writers to publish a book anonymously in 1818, then later under her own name in 1823. To date, the films are 11 adaptations of the story of Frankenstein, with the 1931 version starring Boris Karloff being one of the most popular classics. Many other versions of the story spin to the tale in their own way, some being comedic and others with the change of the monster being a dog instead of a man. Whether you are an adult or a child or even a pet, Frankenstein will always be a great go-to costume idea, even if you have never read the book or seen the film. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Nac Edition. Have a good night and a good day. See you next time.